Welcome back to another episode of Third and Goal. I got Ross and Justin here with me, and we're going to break down the divisional games. A lot of good games in the wild card round, but even better ones this week. So let's start with the first. We have actually before we do, I gotta ask Justin a question because I didn't really get to talk to you too much. Did you see what happened coming? Like, how the hell did LA pull that off, man?
Oh, the LA game. Yeah, I mean, it was phenomenal defense on the part of the Rams. It wasn't the best offensive game. Jared Goff didn't make a whole lot of plays. I remember there was one nice play action pass he had to Robert Woods, but outside of that, he didn't really look good the whole game. So there's a lot of running with Cam Akers and a lot of good defense, but ultimately picking up the win by a comfortable 10 points. So
yeah. And Ross, I got to ask you, man, we texted all day for that game, bruh. How good of a win was that?
Oh, it was great.
It was a great
what we
fucking
needed. And let them be sore losers that we stomped on their logo. I don't care what people say. I don't care we didn't stomp I don't care we stomped the logo. I don't care we didn't shake their hands.
Yeah, that's football. Life's not all sunshine and rainbows, and you know what? I love this as a good Ravens rivalry going forward. But let's talk about this week, actually. We have LA, who did what I thought was going to be the impossible. I had no chance of them beating the Seahawks, but they head to Green Bay to take on Aaron Rodgers in the 4-15 game in Green Bay. Justin, let's start with you.
going with the upset here and picking the Rams. I actually don't mind the matchup against Green Bay. I think I would have been a little more worried playing we had to play the Saints because they're out for blood.
Yeah.
But I think the big thing with the Packers though is can Jalen Ramsey lock down Devontae Adams, because that's their big time playmaker on their offense. Also, of course, you got to keep Aaron Jones in the running game in check, but the Rams just have to play. They have to get the passing offense going. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. Maybe you have to lean heavier on the run and just play good defense, keep that formula going. But that's the real big question mark for the Rams team right now is can they be good enough passing the ball, particularly a team like the Packers. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Ross?
Well, I know I said home field doesn't mean jack last week when they played Seattle. I think a little more when you're going to Wisconsin and you're an LA team. I don't know the forecast. I'm going to guess cold. And you have a quarterback. I don't know who your all quarterback's going to be. You all started a finance guy, and then you got knocked out. Then you went to a guy with a broken thumb So I've seen Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams when they get clicking. Yes, if Ramsey can stop that, it could be close, but I'm picking against Justin and going with the Packers.
Yeah. Honestly, if I had, if Hollywood wrote football games, the LA Rams would be the surefire winners. A half-injured quarterback, on the road in Green Bay, as Ross said, it doesn't matter what the forecast is. It's going to be cold as hell. But this isn't Hollywood. This is the NFL, and I'm gonna go put my money on Aaron Rodgers in this one. Aaron Rodgers at home in Green Bay. Again, there may or may not be a sizable crowd to make a difference, but that cold makes all the difference when you practice in weather that's on average 70 degrees. So after that, we move on to Baltimore at Buffalo, the 8-15 game now. Ravens, Lamar Jackson getting his first playoff win last week, and Josh Allen, what the Bills do, it's pretty impressive. I didn't know if they were going to win or not, truthfully. I'm hoping they weren't, just so the Ravens will have a home game, but they did. They won, and here they are. Ross, what are your prediction, man?
Well, it's not going to be so homer. I'm going to pick the Ravens in this, but I like the matchup against the Bills. You saw what the Colts did running the ball. What do we do?
Yep.
Run the ball. We have Gus Edwards. We have J.K. We have Lamar. Justice Hill's around if he wants to sprinkle carry in, but he's our better pass blocker apparently. and pass protection. So, yeah, it's going to be in Buffalo. It could be Lamar's first ever snow game.
Yeah.
That could be a factor, but not really when he runs like he does. So, homer pick or not, I'm going with the Ravens.
Yeah. Justin?
Once again.
This is one of those games where I feel like the teams are pretty evenly matched in terms of like they both have a pretty strong defense and both have mobile quarterbacks. I'm actually gonna. It's kind of a gut feeling here, but I'm gonna take the upset and go with the Ravens here. I actually think that Josh Allen might have an uncharacteristic bad game for the season. I think he might choke a bit in this one. Just got a feeling about it, We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Ravens. Not so much a homer pick. There's a little science behind it. And actually, if you want to know a more in-depth analysis, right above me, click on that link, and it will take you to our latest episode of Charm City Beat. But in saying that, I am gonna go with the Ravens, and I'll tell you why. As Ross mentioned, the Ravens do running football better than anyone. And they're saying that it could potentially be a snow game, but if Lamar has the right cleats, it won't be a problem. I predict that we're going to get out early, and I think we're going to run it, pretty decently to control the clock. I do think it is going to be a close game. As I said in the other video, I have my prediction score-wise there. But, yeah, I'm excited for it, but it's definitely going to be a close one, but I'm going with the Ravens. Next up, we have a game I never ever thought I'd ever be calling in my life. The Cleveland Browns travel to Kansas City for the divisional round of the playoffs. They're the 4-15 game. Justin, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, and last week kind of pissed me off because I was this close to picking the Browns in that game, but I didn't do it. But yeah, I got to go Kansas City here. I mean, even though the Browns had an amazing first quarter against the Steelers, that ended up seeing them through to the victory last week. We know that Kansas City's a totally different team. It is a totally different animal. You're going up against the best quarterback in the league, best offense in the league. They're defending champions, and the Browns are kind of like this ragtag underdog group. I mean, it would certainly be a Cinderella story if they pull it off here, but I'm not buying into it. I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
All right. Ross?
Well, yeah, Chiefs are on a bye. Technically, Mahomes is almost on 2 weeks off because he didn't play week 17, which I don't think that'll hurt him. Browns get their coach back. I'm going with Chiefs. No, I'm not picking the Browns. You think I'm stupid. Chiefs are going to win this. Browns had their fun. They can go home. As much as I would love that, because that would mean a home playoff game, if everything goes how I would like it. I don't know. It's the Chiefs.
You know what? I'm going to do something that hasn't been done on this show in a long time. Upset alert. I'm going with the Browns. I am going with the Browns because the team we saw last week shows up this week. That's going to be a hell of a game. That's going to be a very close game. I'm not going to say the Browns are going to do what they did to the Pittsburgh Steelers. No, the Pittsburgh Steelers are nowhere near the team that the Chiefs are. But I'm hoping – a little bit of hope there because I do want that home playoff game, but I'm predicting that the Browns are going to win, and it's going to be because of those 2 weeks rest. I just feel what happened with the Ravens last year when they were 14-2, and that most of the players have almost like a month off. Yeah, it messed with you. And again, this year has been the craziest football year ever. I could see that playing a part here. I don't know. I'm just going to go with the upset here. Let's go. Browns. Never thought I'd ever say those words. And in the final game of the divisional round playoffs, we have Tom Brady and Tampa Bay. I'll never get used to ever saying that. They travel to New Orleans to take on Drew Brees and the Saints, and which is a matchup in the playoffs I never, ever thought I'd see. Ross, let's start with you, man.
Well, this falls back right in line with almost with what the Ravens and Titans were, where you play a team 3 times. Usually the team who wins the first 2 doesn't win.
Mhm.
Drew Brees is on his last ride, which that has motivation. You know what? I'm saying the Saints are going to get the 3rd one in a row.
All right. Justin?
I will just say that every time I've seen Tampa Bay playing New Orleans this year, they've just looked terrible. Like, it really seems like the New Orleans Saints just have their number. And again, like, it's a matter of probabilities. Like, okay, you play a team X many times, eventually you get the win, right? But I'm still going New Orleans here. I just feel like at home, they've had the Bucks number all year. I think Tom Brady has his run end here and doesn't go any further in the playoffs.
So I am going to go against the grain again. Wow. I'm going to go with the Bucks. I think like Ross said, it's very hard to beat a team 3 times in a row, and especially when the quarterback of that team is Tom Brady. Even in his 40s, Tom Brady has done things that even the younger quarterbacks aren't doing out here, and that's putting up production. I think Tom Brady in the playoffs, I trust him as much as any quarterback. Not saying Drew Brees isn't that quarterback, because Drew Brees is for sure one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But I like the Bucks here. I think there's a little bit of revenge in their hearts, and I just don't see Brady falling over 3 times in a row to the same team. There's just no way. But that does it for our show. On that note, we do have another episode of Charm City Beat that's out. Again, the link, I'll post the link elsewhere, somewhere on the screen again for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, see you next week.